What's going on, everybody? It's Fade Dating Coach Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about how your silence is stronger than you think, how your silence can kill a man, make him regret it, come back, realize he's an idiot, so on and so forth, okay? I kind of want to dive deep into the importance of silence, what it looks like, and how he's interpreting this, because it is more powerful than you think, even if you're not getting the visual results that you want, right? So let me explain. Let me back a little bit. We're going to assume that you're wanting to be silent because a man is doing some dumb shit, okay? The man you are particularly talking to is pulling away, acting different, taking you for granted, sporadic, not how he was a week or two ago, so on and so forth. Something is up, okay? Now, the more important question you have to ask is, why is he doing this stuff in the first place? We can understand, you and I both know why you want to be silent, but we have to ask, why is he doing this in the first place? And there's several reasons for it, okay? The first is, I do think he's taking you for granted. The second would be, you are showing something along the line of letting it be okay or allowing it, whether that's subconsciously, subliminally, something, somewhere you're showing or you're negotiating your value, your boundaries, your structure, or the structure of this relationship, and that you're okay with him doing the shit he's doing. Otherwise, it would not make sense for a guy who truly likes you to do this, because he would be putting himself in a position to lose you, right? So it's one of two things. It's either he doesn't like you enough or give a shit, or he does, but he's taking you for granted because you're allowing this, right? So with that in mind, I want you to think about this. A man, the reason silence is so powerful is because a man plays a very reactionary game. So if you look at it from an evolutionary perspective, or even modern day, just any time, like the mating ritual between men and women is courtship, okay? Like, a man is the offerer and a woman is the chooser, meaning a man offers sex, a man offers himself, a man offers his resources, a man offers to court you. He's the one who ashes you out. In our society, he should be the one, initiating, taking lead, paying this, that, making the investment. And then it's a woman's job to, choose, not even a job, but to choose to, accept it. Hey, I accept this date. I'll let you take me out, or heck no, take a hike. Okay. But that's all. So men are very reactionary. We're very keen on looking at the signs that a woman gives us. We call these the IOIs, indicators of interest. We're very keen on picking up these things and adapting our game plan. Now, the reason people adapt the game plan, or men adapt this game plan in a sense, is this is prior to relationship. Okay, I'm talking prior to relationship, or maybe even the beginning of a relationship. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 years in. I'm talking about, the very beginning. There might be a little rough patches, or prior to that, you're dating, whether it's 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, something along, those lines. When you're that early on, a man may not be 100% sure about you. A man might not even know what he wants, but he does know he wants the benefits, okay? He wants the benefits that you offer. He wants to find a way, I guess, where he can have his cake and eat it too, until he's convinced that you're the one that he wants to commit to long term. Now, because of this, a man is going to look at all these little signs, these IOIs you give him, and adapt his game plan where he can be a little more resourceful. I don't have to take her out on a date every time I want to have sex. I don't have to blow up her shit all day, every day if I don't want. He's going to try to negotiate it with you. And it's when a woman, there's nothing wrong with a man negotiating. I think taking you out all the time or texting all day, every day is too much. But it's when a woman allows it to be too advantageous for a man that a man starts to take it for granted. And this is where a woman's silence comes into play. I'm not saying be silent from the beginning, but you do need to negotiate some things with the man, saying, hey, it's not okay when you do this, or hey, I have no problem going to your house, but I prefer to, let's go out on a date. I want to go try this new place. It's all that, but when a woman just lets a man do the shit that he wants to do over and over and over and over again, this type of shit happens, where he naturally takes you for granted and he starts to cut corners and become more resourceful and not court you as much. And when that happens long enough, you're probably going to be in the situation that you're in, where you're watching this video and you're wondering, like, why is he doing these things? What do I do? It's silence. What you have to understand is that your silence takes away his ability to react to the variables you're giving him, to play the correct game. So when a woman's silence, sometimes a man's just sitting there like, what's going on? What do I do next? And yes, this even applies to the women who are watching this, and they're like, does this apply to me and my guy? I haven't talked to him in a week. We broke up 2 months ago. He doesn't even like me. He says he's the one who ended it with me, Elliot. Does this all matter? Yes, it still matters, because what a lot of women do not understand is that, and again, trust me, as a guy, and a guy who's been on both sides of it, where just because I'm not showing signs of interest, or I'm the one who ended it, or because I haven't talked to you in a week or 2 weeks or whatever, even despite guys doing that, it's not that clean. It's not that clean of a precision or of a cut, like a surgeon or something. Like, I just don't cut you out of my life black and white like that. Like, men are still lurking around. Men are still checking your shit. Men are asking around. Men are liking your post. Men are, getting on your social media. Men are following, they're snooping around. Trust me on this. They're looking for signs. Is she talking to somebody else? Should I be worried? Does the evidence fit the picture or narrative I have in my mind? Meaning things like, I feel like I have a lot of power. I can go do this bullshit without consequences. And then, he's snooping around. It's like, okay, yeah, she's not following any other guys. She's still off the dating apps. Like, guys will look at this stuff, okay? And then they will create this narrative in their head that they're making the right decision. So it's when a woman does two things. She's silent and she follows through with it, okay, that she starts to look very convincing that she's done. And again, here's the caveat with it. I'm not going to lie to you guys like all these other dating coaches. Just because you do this doesn't mean a guy's going to be running back. But it is something, it's your best chances without a doubt. But, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. I always say without structure, there's chaos. You should be doing this anyway. This is like the mandatory thing. Because the only other option is, okay, well, I don't want to cut him out of my life, Elliot, so I'm just going to let him come and go. When he does, I'm going to try. Like, I don't want to cut him out. Well, then you're going to be treated like shit, okay? You're going to be a doormat. And he's going to take advantage of you, and then he's never going to commit because there's no reason to. Why? You're not going anywhere. Like, there has to be a cause and effect. There has to be a consequence to a man's actions. There has to be a reason for him to freak out if he's treating you like shit. But for a lot of women, like I said, men don't do this until they get the evidence that, okay, she's digging me. She's not talking to anyone else. She's off the dating apps. She put out so fast, and she's so ready for this relationship. She ain't like all that kind of stuff. And then you wonder why you're in the situation you're in. It's only when you convince him otherwise, again, through silence and following through, that even a man you're unsure of is even like taking the hints or seeing this. You should be doing it anyway, because I promise you these guys are still snooping around and looking. Even though he's talking to some other girl, he's on your social media, he's checking. And if it fits the script in his mind that he made the right decision, okay, based off what he sees that you're giving, he's going to continue to do it. So again, just in a nutshell, ladies, when you're silent to a man, it kind of cuts the cord on what he should do next, because men are natural offerers, okay? We're the one who offer. We're the one who play the reactionary game. We court a woman, we see how she reacts, we adapt, right? Because I'm not going to take you on an extravagant first, or this could be our fifth date. It's not going to be like our first, that just doesn't make sense. It's so unresourceful if all of our dates are like our first date. To say we have a magical first date, right? It's just unrealistic. So that's not going to happen. So what I'm telling you is true, that men are adapting along the way. They are taking you for granted, which doesn't mean Ladies, it shouldn't look like this, right? It shouldn't look like this. That's too much. That's too intense. It should look like this and then kind of, and then kind of just like mellow out. But it's when it goes like this, I'm talking about his intensity, his initiation, his effort, his investment. So when it goes like this, and then it starts to go like this, you feel the dip, and then it's like that is when a man feels like, okay, what he's thinking is, okay, what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? I'm investing way too much. I know she's on this dick. She loves this, so I'm going to drop it, and then he's going to kind of test. Okay, this is enough. This is the bare minimum. Like, this is what I can do to get what I want. We don't want that. If you want to bring it back up, of course, communication is key. You got to communicate with the guy, say what you want, try to find solutions with each other as a couple, as a team. But if you can't do that, then no contact, silence, all that is the answer. If you want more on that, I have guides on it down below. I literally have one guide. I have 9 guides, but one of them specifically is about no contact and things like that. I have another guide strictly on how much a guy is into you, and it's very accurate, 1 to 10 number. Again, down below. Or if you want to have a session with yours truly, I can get a one-on-one session with you, talk about your guy and your situation specifically, more detailed than these videos. Ladies, I love you all. Take care and peace.